The old poor chonky's coming back at you. Mowed the yard. Went ahead and mowed the whole thing. You know, nobody said nothing to me in 16 years about this not being mine, so I had to take a little bit of time to reflect. That video that I put on there, that was a rant from last week that I didn't know whether I wanted to even post it or not. But I went ahead and posted it just because some people might think, you know, the same way about life right now. But I'm in a better headspace now. The way I see it is, no matter what happens, life's going to go on. Things are going to happen in your life that suck, and that's just part of life. Everybody goes through them times. I don't care who you are. But honestly, I'm gonna be straight up true with everybody. I know that I have $1,000 a month mortgage on this house, but this has been a good place to live. It really has. And instead of giving up something that I already own and trying to move on somewhere else, I'm going to try to start working on a refinance deal. I think I can get it dropped down to $600 a month, and that's also paying my property taxes and my insurance on the month. But I need a month of check stubs from this new job that I just started working 2-3 weeks ago. So I'm going to be working on that. Hopefully getting 40 or better hours every week. You know, that's the difference. Things happen in life for a reason, and I believe that because I believe that because I have seen it with my own two eyes far too many times. And I'm trying to figure it out. I'm in my 20s, late 20s, and I've been in a relationship the entire time that I've been on my own. And once you spend enough time alone, you start to self-reflect, and you start to realize, you know, the good and the bad about yourself. And you actually start to become the person that you're meant to be the more that you're alone. And once you get past the stage of lust, it's not love half the time that people feel when they get into these relationships. It's just lust. Once you get past that, and you realize that the grass is not greener in a relationship, especially in my generation, because it's all about how can you be the guy on the Notebook. You know, how can you be like some Hollywood movie? Because that's what they've grown up watching. That's what they are accustomed to in their hearts. They seem to think that a relationship is supposed to be sunshine and rainbows all the time, and that's just not the case. But instead of changing my lifestyle and trying to move everything I've got out of here and find a home for my dogs that I don't really want to do, I'm going to build them a lot outside. That way they're safe, but they're going to live outside because they have destroyed every room that they've ever lived in this house. If you let them free in the house, they will destroy the entire place. They're meant to be outside dogs. And they've always been inside. I get that. They're older, so I get that the weather might be a problem for them, but I'm not going to stick them out there. I'm not going to stick them out there when there's a terrible storm coming or something like that. I'm going to have them a place built, because I'm a single man. I've got plenty of room. I need that other room that they're in right now for storage and other reasons. But as far as, my son's room, my room, I never even sleep in my own bed. I don't sleep in my bed unless I have my son, because it just feels empty without him, So he always sleeps with me. But when you get off of work of an evening, and this is Sunday, I've had the weekend off, but when you get off of work and you can come home and you can mow your grass, sip a cold one or something like that while you do it. I didn't do that, but there's a nice cool breeze coming in today. It's about 80 degrees, nice and sunny. Been a beautiful weekend. It's peppered the rain a little bit for about 10 minutes. That's about it. But I can feel a cool breeze coming in like it's going to rain, but it ain't going to be cold. It's going to be just a rain. So, but it helps. But life is what you make it, guys. Instead of changing all of this, and I blame winter time. It was winter time and my seasonal depression, plus the job that I was working where I never hardly seen home. It got just a little bit rough trying to deal with that. I want to see home after work, be it, when my job puts me on night shift. I still get to come home at the end of that. I still get to work 4, maybe 5 days a week and have 2 or 3 days off a week. And that's all things that really matter to me. But I don't want to work night shift. I've told them that I don't want to work night shift. Right now I'm on days. And I don't know how long I'm going to be on days, but I'll probably be on days for a while. But I don't want to work nights. If a job around here, and I'm going to look around and call around and see about it, but if a job around here will bring me on for right at or better than what I make and give me 40 hours or better a week, then I'm going to take it. And I'm going to start prospering again. I'm okay when I'm at home, because I can always find ways. Like I made $50 today just mowing my neighbor's yard, and I do that every couple of weeks, and I make 30. I sold him a few things and made the extra 20, but yeah, every couple of weeks I get an extra $30. I start mowing my grass, and then I just jump on over there and mow his grass, and it's all hunky-dory. It's all good. He goes and gets money and pays me because I've earned it. Mom, they always have work to do up at the farm that I can make money doing if I need extra money to get through the week. I can do things when I'm at home to get by, and I can dedicate my paychecks straight to putting gas back in the vehicle to go to work and paying bills. The money that I make on my own, buying and selling things, or doing odd jobs or something like that, that's usually what I live on, because I make $17 an hour, and without overtime I still make more than what my bills are. So what I'm doing is I'm spending way too much money eating out every day. I spend too much money, doing those things. If I don't have my kid, I live off farm fresh eggs that come from the farm, and that's all I eat. Does it get old? Yes, it does, but is it helping me to pay my bills right now until I can get a raise or until I can get a better job or a job closer to home? That way I'm not spending $80 a week in gas trying to drive my 4.6 Explorer all the way from here to Jacksboro every day. Yeah, I mean, I love that job. I love fabricating and welding. That's my passion. That's what I've found in life that I like doing. So if I can get back home somewhere doing that on day shift, and I get to come home every evening, sit right here on my porch like the porch honky that I am, sit here and watch traffic and do stuff like that, I'm going to be in a lot better mindset. And I am in a very good mindset now. I'm going out and enjoying life again. I'm getting out with my friends and cruising back roads and going and exploring old buildings and creepy bridges and getting some mud on the tires of whatever we decide to take and get mud on the tires of. But my neighbors have a Harley. He goes out there and starts it and then revs the shit out of it and then shuts it off and puts it back, because that makes sense. I think they just want everybody to know that they own a Harley. But I'm sorry, but yes, there's a road here. Yes, there's a road here. But you really can't ask for a better place than this to live. This is a blank canvas as of right now. I could do anything I wanted to with this house. I could make this place amazing. I could make this place awesome. I could make this place somewhere where I do start a business someday, and this is where we take off from, and hey, my truck and trailer, or that thing in a trailer, because I got LLC for property management. It's not junk removal necessarily, it's property management. And I've been talking to realtors and stuff like that. I'm still trying to get that ball rolling. Because if there's a job that I can do whenever I'm off of work, that's my money. That's the way I figure things. My job is strictly paying bills. The money that I make on my own doing stuff, that's money that I take and I eat out on or something like that. Now my son, yes, I use my paychecks to get my son food and drinks and stuff like that, because oftentimes I don't make any money. That's just the hard truth and the hard reality about it. A lot of times I don't make a whole lot of money, but I make enough to keep school and stuff like that. The things that I need to give up, but I'm addicted to it, so I can't give it up. Like Dr. Pepper and Skoal, or Copenhagen. I shouldn't say Skoal, I just call tobacco Skoal, but I chew Copenhagen, and the stuff's almost $7 a can right now, and I need to put it down and walk away from it. I've done it since I was like 14 years old, 13, 14 years old. A little bit hard to walk away from it, but I've done it before. I've just put it down and quit it cold turkey before. But now I've got myself down to where if I have enough quarters to buy a can, I use quarters to buy a can. And when I chew that can, if I have enough quarters, I'll buy another can. And I always save change in the vehicle. You know, every time I go out to eat or something like that, or I pay a bill and they give me change back, I have it separated, quarters and dimes and nickels. If I don't have enough quarters, then I pull out dimes and nickels, because I try to keep at least $3 in there to keep the vehicle washed at the car wash, because they won't take dimes and nickels. It's just strictly quarters. But if anybody out there watched that one video where I was ranting and carrying on, yes, it's stressful, yes, it's been very hard, but the more time I spend alone and the more time I wrap my head around working every day and getting to come home of an evening, I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm no longer having to live with complete strangers in hotel rooms 300 miles away from home and never know whether I'm coming home on Friday, Thursday, or Sunday, or if I'm even getting to come home for a week, or if we're going to leave out 1 month or 1 week and we're just out there for 3 months with no warning, because that job could have been that way. They do that. Not for me. When I go to work and I work, I want to come back home of the evening and see what I'm working for. And I want to do something that I half decently enjoy, and I half decently enjoy welding. I love welding. I'm pretty good at it. I don't like tooting my own horn on it, but I can weld. I am no pro. There's still a whole lot of things I need to learn and can learn and will learn. But welding is my passion. So the more time I can spend making YouTube videos and gaining people here on YouTube, because I feel like I have good advice for me being 28-year-old, because Lord, I jumped into life at 18. I jumped right into life, went out looking for apartments, got me an apartment at 19 years old, moved out. Didn't move out by myself like I wanted to. I brought my girlfriend along, which became my baby mama. Was with that girl for 7 years, 7 or 8 years I was with her. It was 8. And then all of a sudden and then I got with that girl that had the trailer that was in the old channel. She had that trailer and we were going to fix it up and we was going to go up there and be debt free. And I kept hearing this right here from the family about how I'm downgrading my life and I'm doing like crap and I'm a welfare and no good for nothing, blah blah blah, and this and that, because I wanted to live debt free. So I kept talking myself out of wanting that place, and eventually come to the realization that I wasn't being nice to that girl either. I wasn't being nice to that girl either. She was great with my son. She was great to me. She never did anything wrong. But when you come to the conclusion in your own mind that I'm the problem, I need some time to myself without a relationship, that's why that got broke off. I broke that off because she deserved better than the way I was treating her, and I deserved to get the mental clarity that I now have. I jumped out of one relationship of 8 years and jumped straight into another one, and you just can't do that. You cannot do that. And now I'm to the point where I just don't even want a relationship at all. I don't see the benefit of being in a relationship. Like yesterday, wanted to go to the dirt track. Wanted to watch some late models run. That's one of my favorite hobbies. Jumped in the old Explorer after I fixed the water pump. Yes, I fixed the water pump this weekend. Took me about 3 hours tops, because I had to take it down to my neighbor's and have him air chisel the clutch fan off because it wouldn't come off. But fixed it, and now it's good to go. I took it all the way out and went to a different county, sat and watched the dirt track race. Had a great time. When I come back home, my dogs ended up getting in a fight while I was gone, and the neighbors told me, so I came back home to check on them kind of early, right after the feature, not the feature, but the main Big Daddy race. I stayed and watched it because they told me they were okay. But then I came home, checked on them, went to bed, and then I woke up bright and early this morning and mowed the neighbor's yard, sold him a big glass vase that I had, made $50. That $50 helped me get a couple cans of Skoal, I didn't use my quarter trick today. I just spent the money. Helped me get a couple cans of Skoal, put a half tank of gas in the Explorer to start the week with, and what else did I do? Oh yeah, I got me some dinner. Got me some Wendy's, even though that was $12 that I could have not spent had I just went in there and ate my free eggs. You know you live in a good neighborhood whenever your neighbors drive by and they tell you look sexy as hell. Oh, I love some of the crazy son of guns that live around me. They're nuts. I fit right in. They fit right in with me too. But here's the basic fact that I'm trying to put out there. Life is what you make it, guys, and I am just a poor chonky that likes the peace and quiet, and I like being right here by myself with no rules, no regulations, nobody telling me what I need to do and what I don't need to do. I do things at my own pace. I do things on my own terms. I make sure my kid has got everything he needs, even if I have to borrow money from somebody that I always pay back. Now, I'm probably going to go to my neighbors later and borrow $100 just to get through the week. But I know that I'm going to pay him back next week because I made $100 at least extra on my paycheck this week. And I got a full week. That was a fly. But, yeah, I've got dirty hands. That's another thing. A man is not as clean as a woman. This is from yesterday when I fixed the water pump. I came home, went to bed, got back up this morning, went over and started working, started mowing and stuff like that. I ain't showering before I do that. I'm just going to get dirty again. I don't dirty up clothes for no reason. Because then I have to take them, put them in the Explorer, drive 30 minutes to the farm to wash them because my dryer's messed up. I could wash them here, and I have washed them here and then threw them in there and took them just to dry them. I believe I'm going to start doing that again because it cuts down some of the time that I spend there. But honestly, I kind of like it because whenever I take my clothes to my mom's up at the farm, she does them for me. I don't have to deal with them. I can go outside and do stuff. I can go outside and steal her razor or steal one of their side-by-sides and ride. And oh yeah, I always got something I can do. But here's the thing about it, guys. Instead of trying to get rid of all my things, I'm just going to try to button my things up where they're good enough for me, which is about what it is. I would like it less cluttery and I'd like it just a little more clean. But when my son comes here, he ransacks the place and I don't say nothing to him because he's just being a boy and having fun. That's what boys do. But if I do ask that little kid, say, hey, help me pick this stuff up, pick that up, he will. He will literally pick up his own toys and help me put them up. I was sick and so was he. Last weekend I had him, so the house is still a disaster. I give my cat away, so now I need to go in there and clean up after him and all the mess that he's made. So more videos to come, more rants to come, I'm pretty sure. And instead of trying to get rid of my home and give up the life that I've actually fought for so long, I'm just going to try to work to pay this place off. I'm going to put as much money as I possibly can every week straight toward this mortgage, and I'm going to pay it straight to the bank. That way I don't have any reason to go in there in my safe and pull money out and use it for something stupid. I'm going to pay $500 of my check. If I can at least make $600 or $700, I'm going to pay $500 of my check every week straight on this mortgage. because if I do that consecutively for 3 years, maybe 4, because I do have that $500 personal loan, if I do that for 3 years, I'll have this place plenty well paid for. And 3 years of my life to pay off this place. That way I can do what I want to do. I can sit here every day if I want to and not do nothing if I want to. See, that's the thing. I don't even know if I'm going to refinance it, because then that puts it out for more years. That puts it out for, well, I'm going to have more money, though. They're wanting to give me $12,000. So I'm just going to have to, figure out what the good decision there is, because if I pay $500 a week on it, that's going to pay payments quicker. But then I've backed up a couple of years on the mortgage, because I've paid 2 years of a 15-year mortgage already. This makes year number 2 since I refinanced. So I've paid 2 years of a 15-year long mortgage. So I'm just going to start paying the tar out of this place. Other than one time a month, other than one check a month, that's going to have to go toward personal loan. But then I'm going to try to have stuff rolling here at home too. I'm going to try to pick up a few more yards and try to keep my little Troy belt running good enough to do a yard or 2 on the weekends to make extra money for myself, so that I can keep driving. But if I can find something closer to home, then I'm going to find something closer to home, especially if it pays at or better than what I make now. I file head of household because that's what I am, and I do have my son as a dependent, so I file him. So I get most of my check back every month or every week. I get most of my check. I don't get taxed too bad. So maybe that'll help. Because, that's what I really am. I'm actually the head of household here. I am the only resident other than my under 18 son, 2-year-old son. So he's dependent on me while he's here. So I'm doing the right thing with all that, and it's giving me more of my check. So that's why I'm thinking I'm gonna be able to do $500 a week. But once I get it paid up for about 6 months, I'm gonna take and just put that back into a safe until I get $2,000, because my stepdad is the reason that this mortgage is paid current. I sold Old Blue to pay it up, but it still wasn't current. My stepdad chipped in $2,000 to pay it up current to this month. So this coming week I have a personal loan, and then I'm going to try to dig out the hours and try to dig out and do the things I need to do in order to pay the house payment by the end of the month. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very tight, but I'm going to do what I have to do. So, y'all, I'm going to give y'all a parting shot of the pretty yard that I mowed. I even mowed inside the dogs a lot. That fence right there is coming down eventually. I'm taking that fence down, that way I can just mow it all in one stripe. I'm going to make the dogs a lot, like I said earlier. But we'll talk to everybody later. I hope everybody's had a great weekend. It's been a beautiful weekend here in Tennessee. And I'm going to weed eat around a little bit. And we'll talk to y'all later.